Hi folks, we're going to take a look at the Unit 3 assignment, Part A, number 1B. So here they're asking us to find they ask us to actually find the derivative and second derivative of this function. Of course, we have to find the first derivative before finding the second. All right. Now, one thing that might come up is the notation. Okay, so this 1/2, when there's no other brackets here, you'll assume that this exponent applies only to whatever's in the base below it. So here the 1/2 applies to the x plus 4, not to ln of x plus 4. So what might be easier is if you actually put some brackets around there just to make sure you distinguish what this exponent applies to. All right, so let's start by finding the first derivative. All right, so here we're going to have to use the chain rule. So we've got this logarithmic function, so this is going to be our u. So the derivative of ln u is just 1 over u, so 1 over x plus 4 to the 1/2 times the derivative of u with respect to x. Well, here we're going to have to use the chain rule again, make this our v. So the derivative of v to the 1/2 is just 1/2 v to the negative 1/2. And then we have to multiply that by the derivative of v with respect to x. Now, of course, the derivative of x plus 4 is just equal to 1. You might ask yourself, why do I even bother writing that out? Just because I want to make sure that I understand that this is a chain rule that's occurring. In this case here, it just so happens that the derivative of the inside function is equal to 1. All right, so let's simplify this here before we take the second derivative. So I notice there's really nothing left in the numerator. I just have a 1 in the numerator, and I've got this factor of 2 in the denominator. And here, this x plus 4 to the 1/2, negative 1/2. In fact, I'll just write it here just to make sure it's absolutely clear. So I have the x plus 4 to the 1/2 from this first expression. And then here, I'm going to apply the negative in the exponent, which is just going to take this x plus 4 to the denominator. So x plus 4 to the 1/2, and here I realize that I can simplify further, because x plus 4 to the 1/2 times x plus 4 to the 1/2, same base, add the exponents, I'm just left with 1 over 2 times x plus 4. So it's definitely worth simplifying, because I came out to something that was much, much simpler than what it looked like at the beginning. All right, so now we can go ahead and take the second derivative. All right, so here, this 1/2, I'm just going to treat as just a constant. So this is just 1/2 times the derivative of 1 over x plus 4, which I'll rewrite as x plus 4 to the negative 1. All right, and now here again, I see I have to use the chain rule. So there's my u. Okay, so the derivative of u to the negative 1 is negative 1 times u, x plus 4, to the negative 2. And then times the derivative of x plus 4 again is just equal to 1. All right, so let's clean this up. So in the numerator, the only thing I'm going to be left with is the negative 1. And then in the denominator, I'm going to have the factor of 2 and bring this expression into the denominator, x plus 4 squared. Okay. So just to do a quick recap, first of all, make sure you get the notation correct, that you interpret the notation correctly. Here, I needed to use the chain rule twice to find the first derivative. Again, we see that taking some time to simplify it as far as I can is very helpful when I then have to take a second derivative, which again, just involves the chain rule. Okay, that's it for this one.